I'm the best, I'm the best, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. I'm the best, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold. For the bike and they know I'm impressive. He wanna talk, but he not on the scale.
Just north of the Delaware Expressway and east of Broad Street, we find ourselves at Lincoln Financial Field in South Philly. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. These two teams have met earlier in the season in Philly with the Eagles winning that ball game. So they're trying to win here in Philadelphia to capture the season series. Howell out of the shotgun. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll go play action. Howell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield. No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Powell. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule.
And the defense, they get to Howell. He'll go down here. They'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Now, that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. 3rd and long, here's Howell. Throw left side complete. That's Connor. And they're going to mark him down and short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Fourth down, Howell. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Philly. 57 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Fourth down, here's Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Commanders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, certainly circle that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, you know, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said, take the 3. But it looks like they burned the book and just said, give me the analytics. And the analytics said, go for it. Didn't work out.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
Faking the handoff, Howell. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Hassan Reddick able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have?
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. Here's Tressway now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get at 23 yards all told. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. He's able to find Melton. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 1st and goal from the 3. Gainwell is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Yeah, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Powell looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. First down, Howell to throw. Throw left side, complete. That's Connor. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Gibson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Howell to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. He's got the hook up downfield to Samuel. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And returns it right back to Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Back to the ground with Gibson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. Howell trying to pick it up on 3rd. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run here with Gainwell. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And did the offense get it back? They did at the 1-yard line. They'll look to run with Gainwell. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. They'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Elliott good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the Pickens. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. After the interception, here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. Going deep here for Watkins. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be forced out of bounds all the way down inside the 20. A big play there for Philly. 48 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Running right, this is Gainwell. And he is going to lose yardage here. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jackson. Flushed out right, and he'll get nothing out of that one. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time.
And I think the ball's out. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And so the last three drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number two, maybe they actually have the lead.
On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Partner, was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. One last shot before the break. Howell slings this deep from McLaurin. And this one is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, so the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Now Jackson. Dancing to his left.
This pass complete to Melton.
And he's got Rome. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left.
And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand.
So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
He'll buy some time right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm sure that was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Powell throwing on 3rd down here.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
Here's Tressway now. as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is taken at the 18. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Jackson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Steps away to his left. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Philadelphia, PA.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep.
Well, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37.
A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Bo Melton.
His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today?
It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Straight ahead, it's Gainwell.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 5. He's going to be marked down very close to the first down marker, but it looks like he's a yard short. And Jackson going to have the first down as he will get to the ground to avoid the contact. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A give running right is Gainwell. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is a chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now throwing on 1st down here. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Now they go play action with Howell. Sliding out of the pocket. And that'll be complete to the running back, Gibson. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Here's Howell. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Yo. Yo. 54. And here we go, watch the pass. Watch the pass. Out.
4th down, Howell, desperation time. And my goodness, another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Over the middle, that's caught by Schwartz.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
They run behind center with Gainwell. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there are going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
Jackson going to throw quickly here, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Elliott on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on third down.
Off play action. It's Howell.
Rolling to his left. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That's a third down conversion to 24 yards there. Nice play. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Steps away, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack.
Howell.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Howell to the air on 1st and 10.
And now here is another interception.
And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season, and add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Play action. It's Jackson. Under pressure, they got him again. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds.
Strip that ball. Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill. Joker, 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 joker. Hey, check. Where we go?
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Escaping the... And he's going to go down again. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, you realize that both sides of the ball were so dominant in this game. And on offense, not only did they score it, but they did it through the air as well as on the ground. Everything was working.
And you know that the guys who scored the touchdowns, who contributed that way, that threw them or ran them, they're going to find our cameras and have a big grin for them. I hope our cameras find that offensive line. How versatile were they? Move the ball on the ground, move people so they could run it, and then protected their passers so they could throw it.
So for the Eagles, the win moves them a couple games over 500 now at 7-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks.
Meanwhile, for Washington,
they fall to 6-6 now.